This evening, Alliance for Change holds its first press conference of the year. Minister Karen Cummings to personally visit communities ravaged by gastroenteritis. New Minister of Social Protection has a message for human traffickers. Mayor says she will not tolerate vacant shops and shantytowns in Georgetown. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, accounting officer at the Office of the President was put in the hot seat to discuss the expenditure and internal controls at the President's office. And internationally, Chinese media attacked Trump's Secretary of State nominee Rex Tillerson over comments on the South China Sea dispute. Also, in this week's segment of beautiful Guyana, outgoing Deputy Mayor Sherrod Duncan takes us on a tour of Essequibo County, Region 2.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Ramsville Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Channel 2 Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel, as well as our website, safetvguyana.com. Join us. This afternoon's AFC press conference covered many topics, but there was a heavy emphasis on the maintenance of the rule of law. Notwithstanding, there was a question in reference to the controversial 2 a.m. curfew. According to Public Security Minister Kemaraj Ramjatan, there is no reason to repeal the 2 a.m. curfew for drinking establishments. Minister Ramjatan believes that the curfew is a necessary part of maintaining order and curbing crime that these establishments usually attract. He further states that the law was already on the books, but was ignored in years past. As Minister of Public Security, he has relaxed the curfew at the behest of Cabinet on several occasions. Thus far, the practice of the minister is to relax the curfew during the holidays, a practice that he intends to continue as Mashramani approaches, if Cabinet finds it reasonable to do so.
Those occasions when members of Cabinet, especially Cabinet, which is superior again to the individual Ramjatan, would want to give an extension of the hours because it's a Mashramani day or evening, or it's All Year's Night or whatever, I do that. And so that is how it should be done.
In response to calls from the opposition to repeal the curfew, Minister Ramjatan encourages the party to bring the issue to a vote in Parliament.
My personal view is that the 2 a.m. curfew is very much in accordance with international practice and what is required of a state that drinks excessively, Guyana. However, the law is superior to what Ramjatan thinks. And if the PPP would like to bring an amendment to that law, the PPP can bring the amendment. All the opposition forces that are opposed right now to a 2 a.m. curfew can so bring it, and we can vote and we can debate and then vote on it. And that's the way of this democracy.
He further emphasized the need to maintain the rule of law. In his opinion, a culture of lawlessness was allowed to exist in Guyana for years. This is a sentiment that his colleague, Minister Kathy Hughes, also shares.
I'd like to recognize that corruption in Guyana is a culture. Sometimes we have these airy-fairy notions of what corruption is, but it is a culture. And therefore, the administration, I think, has been focusing, as Minister Patterson said, in ensuring that in as many ministries, government agencies, and offices, we put the necessary checks and balances in place to reduce it.
Since coming into office, the AFC believes that it has made great strides toward fighting corruption. The most significant sign of this was the creation of the Public Procurement Commission, the significance of which is often ignored by the media in Minister Ramjatan's opinion. Vendors who are not occupying their stalls for a long period of time must do so, or it will be revoked, says Mayor Patricia Chase Green. Andrew Weeks reports that the re-elected mayor said shantytowns will also not be tolerated.
The Munishwar Vendors Mall on Water Street are filled with unoccupied stalls for years, and the City Mayor Patricia Chase Green said they have another thing coming.
The stalls as a bond just to store stuff, and they want to be in the limelight. They want to be out on the streets. As you know, the old Guyana stores bond, there is an injunction, but over the Christmas period, They took over. The same lawlessness again. They started to throw one tarpaulin from one end of the pave to the other end of the pave. I mean,
Would there
the
be any
place was like a shanty town.
sanctions on those vendors who
Well,
have
the-
those stalls there and not using? Or is it
Well, we
gone?
said to them they have to occupy their stalls, and so they have to go back into the stalls. But City Hall will not encourage those shanty towns in the city.
On Wednesday night, when City Constable and Town Clerk cleared out several temporary stalls from the Merriman's Mall area between Cummins and Light Street, the City Mayor Chase Green, days before, had warned the beauticians and barbers who ply their trade in the area to shape up or ship out.
To go back because this pains a lot. The cosmetologists that we remove from off the streets. All right, everybody we understand want to make a living. At our expense, we bought tents and placed them on the Merriman's Mall. Go and see what they have it looking like. A shanty town in the heart of a city. Nobody's taking pride in what they want to do. They want to occupy a space free of cost at their own liberty to do as they like and leave the dirt behind for the city council to clean. In 2017, if those hairdressers and barbers are not registered with the council, and according to the law, they have to be registered with the town clerk's office. We will close them down.
Late last year, City Hall had warned the vendors again on Merriman's Mall to conduct their businesses based on what they signed up for. But barbers and beauticians were caught by city officials selling drinks, clothing, and food. Chase Green said,
2017 will be a different year as compared to 2016. While we are sympathetic to the cause that everybody must earn a living, you have to abide by the laws. You couldn't go anywhere else and stop on the street and open a barbershop and expect it to continue as if no one cares. There are laws that govern the city of Georgetown, and those laws will be implemented in 2017.
Andrew Weeks reporting for Channel 2 Headline News.
Andre Nichols Rogerford, 40 years old, who resides at Tower Suites, Main Street, and manages Privilege nightclub, was today ordered to pay a $15,000 fine by Chief Magistrate Ann McLennan for overstaying his time. According to a Demerara Wave report, Andre, a Trinidad and Tobago national, pled guilty to the charge that between January 5th and January 9th, 2017, he failed to comply with the conditions of his stay in Guyana. The police prosecutor said Andre came to Guyana on May 17, 2016 through the Chedijagan International Airport and was granted 6 months stay. He never applied for an extension. Upon examination of the passport by the chief magistrate, it was found that Andre had a valid July 5, 2016 stamp. Andre, originally from Aroca in the Twin Island Republic, told the court when he came to Guyana he resided at the Pegasus Hotel and was later asked to manage the Privilege nightclub. He said his stay was supposed to be 3 months, but his employers granted him an extension. The club privilege manager said he was supposed to obtain an extension, but after police investigation into an alleged shooting in or around the nightclub on Saturday, January 7th, Andre's passport was examined, and upon being released from questioning, he was reported to immigration and charged for overstaying. He told the magistrate he was going to extend his 6 months on Monday. Chief Magistrate McLennan suggested that he apply for the CARICOM Single Market and Economy Certificate. Police are still investigating the shooting incident outside Tower Suites. Police reports suggested a victim of the shooting was taken to a private hospital and he was treated for a superficial injury. The club staff had been implicated for allegedly tampering with the evidence after the nightclub was vacated and cleaned following the incident. A senior police officer said Tower Hotel staff were cooperating with investigators and have agreed to provide video surveillance footage. Tower Hotel, which includes Club Privilege, opened its doors to the public last year. Coming up on Headline News after the break, Minister Cummings addresses the gastroenteritis scare and today's police blotter.
Fly always, Always something new.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's for dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Minister within the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Karen Cummings will be traveling to Region 9, Aishalton, Shea Village, and Arainau to assess the 58 cases of gastroenteritis outbreak there. Andrew Weeks spoke with the minister via telephone and filed this report.
Since the gastroenteritis outbreak was first reported in the press, Minister of Public Health, Walter Lawrence, had reported that a medical team has been dispatched to Aishalton in Region 9 to assess the situation. This reporter called on the minister within the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Karen Cummings, for an update on the situation.
Last when we had our policy meeting was when Monday or Tuesday, I think it was about 58 at the time. I haven't gotten any recent figure, but we'll be going in there on Friday. And deep south there, yes, and have a, on the spot, on the ground, feed of what's happening. And I'm trying to see if I can get other teams going in. Somebody from agriculture, somebody from, communities and so on,
I was told a team. Minister Cummings said there is a team on the ground, but she wanted to be part of the assessment as well.
I just go in just to make sure that, the origin and if it's fecal oral route or, or if the water is contaminated. But I've gotten feedback from a sampling that's done that it's indeed contaminated, the water is contaminated. But I'm going in there, to see for myself.
Headline News understands that the team discovered that most residents were not sterilizing their drinking water, that the villages had medication on hand to deal with the outbreak of gastroenteritis. On Christmas Eve, former Minister of Health Dr. George Norton had visited the village and took medication including those for gastroenteritis. I asked the minister the following question.
I can't recall the last time if it was the same area. You sure it's Region 9 or Region 1?
Region 9.
Okay, well, that's why I'm going there just to get full the first time because you have so many saying different things. So I'm going to get a good assessment, yes, on Friday and hear exactly what's happening.
The ministry said it is awaiting the results of samples taken from the residents for testing, and that medical team also conducted house-to-house visits. It said there have been no reports of any fatality. Andrew Biggs reporting for Channel 2 Headline News.
Thanks, Andrew. Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali has a message for those who are in the trade of trafficking in persons, as well as those who may be thinking of joining the tip trade.
Victims of this sort of crime are stripped of their right, but I can assure you that we will work to put the right back into the rights guaranteed to all our citizens. As a modern civilized nation, we must reject such inhuman injustice and cruelty. Our government is dedicated to eradicating the scourge of human trafficking.
And for today's police blotter. Yesterday afternoon, police acting on a tip received went to a house at Turn Drive in East La Penitence. The ranks conducted a search of the house at around 2 p.m. During the search, they found an unlicensed .45 caliber rifle, 1 live round of ammunition, and several tablets of ecstasy. The resident of the house, a 28-year-old male technician, was arrested and is currently in police custody. Also, early this morning, police conducted a search of several apartments in Rossville, Georgetown. During this search, the ranks detained 6 men and 3 females. The search yielded 16 live rounds of different calibers of ammunition and 180 ecstasy pills. And early yesterday afternoon, 2 persons were arrested and were assisting police in their investigation into a brazen multi-million-dollar robbery at the National Insurance Scheme in West Bank Demerara. The robbery took place on Wednesday night. According to police, it is suspected that it may have been an inside job. Investigations are ongoing. If you have any information regarding the crime, please contact the police at 227-4065. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Coming up after the break, our regional news, international news, and this week's segment of Beautiful Guyana.
Fly always. Always something new.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's for dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, in Trinidad and Tobago, accounting officer at the Office of the President, Gregory Serret, was put in the hot seat on Thursday afternoon as the Joint Select Committee of Parliament met for a grueling 3+ hours to discuss the expenditure and internal controls at the President's office. C News reports.
The afternoon sitting saw a discussion at length of what qualifies as a perishable and a non-perishable item. The debate arose after it was revealed that perishable items are not tagged by the Office of the President, that is, they won't appear in the financial auditing accounts.
We never really account for that.
Okay, so you don't account for things like anything that is perishable. So a vase, would you agree that a vase that is non-perishable?
No, we would register a vase.
You would register a vase?
Yes, but like plates and glasses.
And cutlery?
Mr. Serret was unable to say exactly when the last internal audit at the office was conducted, but he recalled items not being tagged has been a problem his office has encountered in the past. Responding to the accounting officer's claim that these discrepancies had been overlooked due to the lack of efficient human resources, the question was raised as to how more staffing will solve the problem.
In the past, Madam Chair, in the past we had made requests, continual requests to service commissions and the PMCD, but of no avail. So we intend to make further requests.
The Public Management Consulting Division, however, found that there's no need for extra staff at the President's office. Given that there's also no procurement plan at the office, the accounting officer was asked to explain what led him to believe increased staff levels was the appropriate remedy to the problem. He said a lot has changed since the PMCD's analysis was undertaken.
From that time to now, it has even grown even a bigger need now because staff has increased. There's a lot more functions, a lot more accounting responsibilities. So there's even a greater need now for that.
Mr. Serret said the internal audits are done on a quarterly basis, adding that the next one is due to take place by March of this year. Trinine Brown, C News.
And internationally, Chinese media attacked Donald Trump's Secretary of State nominee, Rex Tillerson, over comments he made about a dispute in the South China Sea. CNN reports.
In a stark contrast to the more muted official response, China's state media on Friday lashed out at Rex Tillerson, Donald Trump's nominee for the U.S. Secretary of State, and warned of potential wars after Tillerson suggested a more aggressive strategy towards Beijing in the contested waters of the South China Sea. Now, in his Senate confirmation hearing on Wednesday, Tillerson said China should stop building artificial islands in the waters immediately, and its access to these islands already built should be denied. On Friday, the Global Times, a state-run newspaper known for its nationalistic stance, came out to say that unless Washington plans to wage a large-scale war in the South China Sea, any other approaches to prevent Chinese access to the islands will be foolish. It added that Tillerson had better bone up on nuclear power strategies if he wants to force a big nuclear power to withdraw from its own territories. Now, other official media outlets waiting as well, with the China Daily newspaper calling Tillerson's remarks naive, short-sighted, as well as full of prejudices and fantasies. Now, in contrast, when I asked the Chinese Foreign Ministry about these comments on Thursday, a spokesman simply said that things have been cooling down in the region, and it hopes the U.S. will respect the consensus China has reached with other countries on this issue. But South China Sea is now the only hot-button military issue between Washington and Beijing right now. On Thursday, China and Russia also came out to say that they have agreed to take further countermeasures in response to the U.S.-South Korean decision to deploy the THAAD missile defense system in South Korea. Now, Washington has insisted this is aimed at preventing North Korea from shooting missiles into South Korea. But both Beijing and Moscow have long opposed this move, calling it a security threat to their own interests. When I asked the Foreign Ministry about this announcement, a spokesman said, given the legitimate security concerns China and other countries have, it is entirely understandable for them to take further steps. So a week before Donald Trump takes office, an increasingly uncertain and complicated global security landscape, especially involving Beijing and Washington, seems to be awaiting the next U.S. president. Stephen Jiang, CNN, Beijing.
Finally, this week's Beautiful Guyana segment, which comes to you with the compliments of Department of Public Information, Office of the Prime Minister. The outgoing Deputy Mayor of the City of Georgetown, Shara Duncan, will take us on a tour of the Cinderella County of Guyana, Essequibo, Region 2.
Welcome to Essequibo. Essequibo, the Cinderella County. Essequibo is a place where the magnificence of land and riverscapes are only eclipsed by the quiet nature of a hospitable people. Essequibo, where rice is king and we guard jealously every blade of grass. Essequibo, one of the most beautiful places on earth. Come see for yourself.
And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and SafeTVGuyana.com. You can also tune in at 6:30 Sunday morning for a rebroadcast, and Monday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast. Thank you for welcoming us into your home, and do have a blessed weekend.